Hi guys, how are you all doing today? I have been in the mood to draw some fan art lately. Well, actually, that's not true. I've been in the mood to play a certain game lately, and I have been playing it over and over and over and I'm gonna be perfectly honest, it's half the reason why my content keeps coming out late because I can't get enough of this game. And it's for no reason in particular. It's just a really addicting format for me. I love games where you sit down and you play around and you can like start and finish that round in the same sitting. So the game is called Dome Keeper. You can find it on Steam. I played it on stream a couple times and I think people got a little bit annoyed with me for how long I was just digging and digging and digging and digging. But I love these kinds of games. There's something about a game where when you die, that's like game over. You can't restart from a past save that I just adore. Don't Starve is another one of my absolute favorite games and it does the same thing. Like when you die, you're dead. You don't get to come back to the same save. And it's just, it's so addicting because I want to get a little bit further and a little bit further every single time. I don't want to claim that I'm good at these games because I'm certainly not, but they are very fun. And what I thought would be kind of fun to do is some fan art for this game. And the reason I thought that would be fun is because Dome Keeper is a pixel art game. There's not very much to suggest what the main character really looks like. So I thought it would be fun to do some fan art specifically for him because I can put my own spin on it. It's not, I don't have to like adhere to what the character looks like. He doesn't really have a very solid design. So I don't have much time today to film, so I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. Basically, all we know about him is he's in some sort of like mining spacesuit thing. Starting over already. He's got like a jetpack to sort of propel himself through the mines. As far as I'm aware, we actually don't know his gender identity, but I like calling him a little guy. Like, look at my little guy. So for the purposes of this video, I'm going to presume he is male. But yeah, aside from the fact that he has a drill and a jetpack and some sort of like space dome on his head, we really have no idea what he looks like. So what I want to do here is I want to make sure I've got the main character filling up most of the page. And I think he's just going to be exploring down in the mines. And we know he has some sort of flashlight as well, because as you get lower and lower in the mines, your flashlight's intensity kind of decreases because there's less light around you. So I want to include something like that. I think I'm going to put it on like the back of his wrist, sort of like attached to his suit or something so that he can still use both his hands. And then we also know that he has a drill because that is the only way that you can get resources in this game is by drilling through the earth. Or I guess you're on an alien planet, so drilling through the ground to mine the resources. What I kind of want to do is I want to make the drill also attached to him. And I'll make it pretty big because I think on his sprite in the game, the drill is like half the size of his body. I'm gonna exaggerate it a little bit. And it's gonna be attached to him, but he still has to like operate it with his hand. So I'm just putting something like that for now. We'll clean it up later. And then I don't think a Dome Keeper fan art would be complete if I didn't include the best part of the game, little Drillbert. Drillbert is a little like dinosaur kind of creature. And basically what he is like an automatic miner. You set him on a certain level of the map and he will just continue drilling until he runs into a wall, and then you dig him down a little deeper and he'll continue drilling, and so on and so forth. But everybody loves him. He's just the cutest dang thing. He's got a little drill for a nose. Look at that little guy. So I definitely got to include him. And the background I think is just gonna be like a big tunnel that he's drilled through, kind of make it a little rocky. Just gonna fill that in a bit to remind myself to really make sure it's nice and dark back there, because I do want him kind of silhouetted against that dark background. Maybe throw a couple little ore pieces up here. In the game, there's 3 different types of ore that you can find. There's cobalt, water, I guess. It's not really a type of ore, but even still. And iron. So I just want to throw a couple of those in there and see if I can't represent that somehow. All right, that's our undersketch done. I'm gonna go ahead and hop onto a second layer here and do some more refined details. His head is really close to the top here, which I don't really mind because you're not gonna be able to see his face. I really want to put like a really big, like it's sitting on top of his shoulders kind of dome over his head. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be much of an issue if his head is all the way at the top of the paper instead of being at the 3/4 mark like you usually. Because in addition to the fact that you won't be able to see his head, I kind of want to make this picture look a little bit crowded, because even though the concept of this game is pretty simple, there is like a lot that you can do. Basically, your goal in this game is to land on this alien planet, and in the base level you are looking for an artifact on this alien planet that you're supposed to be bringing back to your own planet, presumably. So you've got this little biosphere dome that is kind of your home base, and you dig underneath the dome to create this big like mine system where you can find ores to upgrade your base, upgrade your suit, upgrade your weapons, stuff like that. And you can also find like little side artifacts in the mines as well, like little drill bit here. But in addition to looking for resources in the mines, you also have to protect your little biosphere, your dome. You're a keeper of the dome. You're a dome keeper. And basically what that entails is at pretty regular intervals, aliens that live on the planet will come and attack your dome, and you have to go up through the mines back to your dome to defend it from these alien attacks. And that is honestly my favorite part of the game. I think it's so ingenious because with games like these, it's really easy to get lost in like one aspect of it where you just mine for hours and hours and hours on end, and to me that gets pretty boring pretty quickly. Or you could do the opposite. You could be on the surface fighting wave after wave after wave of aliens and upgrading your weapons and your dome. And again, fun concept. I do like tower defense games, which is kind of what this is like, but it also just gets a little boring after a while. So I really, really like in this game how your main objective is to find the resources to upgrade everything that you need, and then it does force you to go back up to the surface to defend your dome. And there's such a like balance of, do I use these resources that I've just found so I can upgrade my weapons to fight off the alien attacks more easily, or do I use these resources to upgrade like my suit and my drill so that I can find even more resources, but in the meantime the alien attacks are getting stronger, so you do have to upgrade your defenses pretty soon. It's really just trying to like balance where your resources are going and managing everything, which resource management games are hands down my absolute favorite type of game. I love watching the numbers and like seeing what goes where and trying to coordinate everything. So this game was just an automatic win in my book. It was so much fun. And all my Steam friends can tell you, like 3 or 4 times a day, they'll see the little message pop up at the bottom, Threadwing is playing Dome Keeper, because for me right now, the rounds take about, for me right now, I'm really battling with the prestige mode, which instead of looking for an artifact, you're just trying to send resources back to your home planet and kind of get the highest score possible. And generally I can last for about half an hour to an hour and 45 minutes when I'm playing that mode. It really depends on how lucky I get with my resources. So I'll play for about an hour or so depending on how long I last, and then when I die I'll close the game and I'll go do something else, usually something I'm supposed to be doing like art or videos or inventory management for my new art stickers, which are, by the way, still for sale. I'll go ahead and get into that more towards the end of the video. And then it's like once I complete my task, I'll pull up the game again and I'll play another round. So I'm sure all my friends are just watching my icon pop up going, oh my god, Sarah is absolutely obsessed with this game. And it's true, I am. I love it. I can't get enough of it. I want so badly to get a better score at this prestige round because I have yet to actually escape the alien planet, which I think is kind of like the goal of that round. I always just get a little too greedy. I'm thinking like, oh, but I can get a little bit more. I can do a little bit more. And then my greed gets the better of me and the alien attacks inevitably get much too strong and I end up dying. But I swear that's the fun of it. All right, so I've drawn in his little head. I give him a little chest plate, which I think I might do a little something extra with because it looks a little plain right now. And I've sketched in the arm with the flashlight on it. And I really feel like the flashlight is going to have this really, really bright light coming off of it. So I just want to sketch in where that light is kind of going to be refracting. And I kind of want to do something with the spacesuit here where the top half of it is armored. And then the bottom half is going to be more of like a black form-fitting jumpsuit almost because like for the startup art on the game, you can kind of see his little silhouette in the dome there. And you can see he's kind of skinny. There's no like big bulky armor on the bottom. So I kind of want to make sure I include a little bit of the skinny boy. So basically this top piece of armor is just going to be like covering his chest and rib cage, and then the jumpsuit area is just going to be like his belly down. Give him some nice strong legs, and I want to put a little something like a boot, and I want to give him a bit of like a chunky boot. So I'm thinking I'm going to give like a little bit of a kneecap and then construct the boot behind it. Something I've really fallen in love with drawing is actually shoes. I really like putting a focus on them in some of my art, especially if they're like big chunky boots. I really enjoy putting putting a lot of detail into them. And I think these boots that I'm drawing are not really gonna work the same as like Earth boots, because they're gonna have to like walk on an alien planet. But even still, it's really fun to design them. I'm gonna give it like a little bit, not necessarily a strap, but like this is gonna be where the metal separates to kind of look like a strap. And I do mean metal. I definitely want these to be like chunky metal boots. And then maybe an actual strap like on the back of the leg, just to keep that kneecap piece in place. See, I think those are cool. And then put the other leg in here. Again, pretty muscular, and then big chunky boot. Wonder if I can use the Dome Keeper music kind of in the background of this video. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to access it, or if it'll even be approved by YouTube, but it's so calming. It's this little like, it's just like this slightly spooky, sort of 8-bit, but not exactly 8-bit. It just has like the feel of the like doot doot doot, like the 8-bit music, you know? This whole game kind of has a little bit of a retro feel, like Space Invaders or the Metroid games. I think that's something else I really like about it. I love when games go kind of retro. All right, I think that's pretty good for his body. Let me just finish up this other arm over here that has the drill on it. I need to figure out what I'm doing with this arm actually, because this whole setup is not really anatomically valid. So this arm is definitely gonna have to be pulled back a little bit here to make room on the canvas for the big drill. And I think I'm just gonna have to kind of cheat it and have the drill itself going behind the arm, even though I don't think that really should be feasible with the way it's set up. What do I want to do on the forearm here? I'm kind of thinking something a little scale-like, like a few pieces of overlapping armor here. The thing about this character is he doesn't really need to be all that heavily armored. I think he really just needs protection of sort of his softer points and anything that's going to be interacting with the rock that he's mining, because he doesn't actually like battle with the aliens. He just controls weapons and defense equipment from inside his dome. So really we just need to make sure that he's safe in the mines. He doesn't need to be exactly battle ready. I'm gonna put like a big cuff on his wrist here. And I think that'll be sort of what's supporting the majority of the drill. And then for his hand, even though the cuff doesn't seem to leave him with much mobility, it sure does look cool. And that's all we really need to worry about, let's be honest. It's kind of funny, with all the thought that I find myself putting into characters like this. Like I was just talking about how he doesn't need that much armor because he doesn't actually fight the aliens. There are some points where I just add stuff because it looks cool, even though the rest of the design is supposed to be more functional. But you know what? I always think of it like, if most of your design looks functional, then some of it doesn't have to, because people are just gonna focus on the more functional aspects of it. And also, fashion is not functional. In fact, I would go so far as to say that all fashion is aesthetic based, and it's actually a small bonus if something is functional. Now I realize that for this guy, he might need function over fashion, but you can't tell me whoever was designing this suit didn't put a little thought towards how it was going to look. All right, so I think I'm gonna put just a big box here to kind of represent the, I guess, mechanism of the drill. Put a couple little bands across it, again, to sort of make it look like it's attached to his arm. And then I'm just gonna kind of build up on the top here so that it's not drilling directly into his hand. I kind of just want to scooch him over ever so slightly. And instead of having a trigger here, I'm gonna have a little handle for him to hold on to. We can just pretend that the drill is automatic. And then here's the base for the little spinny part. And I'm actually gonna bring the spinny part out quite a ways, because I want this guy looking extra big. And this is something I'm gonna have to kind of clean up later. Well, maybe not that big. It's kind of hard to tell what it is at that point. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just create kind of a cone and then make like a spiral on it, and then use that spiral as a bit of a guide to where the little blades are gonna go. I think that looks pretty good. Definitely looks like a drill. Cool, there's our guy. I like him. I am just gonna scooch him down just a little bit and maybe pop him over again ever so slightly, because I want a little bit more of that drill showing. Even though it is the main point of the game, the drill is not supposed to be the main focus of this picture. This guy is. But yeah, I like that. That's our little man. Let's give a little love to Drillbert here. Oh, people have actually done like fan art of Drillbert. That's so cute. I just wanted to look up like what his little pixelated design looks like, but there's some adorable fan art in here. All right, so he is kind of like a two-legged dinosaur, but he slouches down a little heavily so that he's got a flat spine. Just want to make sure I've got his hand kind of up here so that we can see but he's still two-legged. And then put his legs in the back here a little further forward so that he can balance on them. But he does also have that cute little tail, which in the pixel art is kind of going straight like a regular dinosaur's tail would, but for this art I'm gonna point it up slightly so it kind of looks like he's happy to see us. He's so cute, I love him. I'm gonna dip this spine down a little bit, and then he doesn't appear to have much of a neck in the game. He's just kind of all head, so I'm gonna give him a little bulbous head here, and then he's got that cute little like drill. And I'm actually just gonna give him like a straight up drill on his bill, a drill bill, if you will, using the same technique that I did for the drill in our little guy's hand. And other than that, I'm just gonna give him his little eye there, sketch in this other arm. And that's our little Drillbert. God, he's so cute. There is another character in this game, another little like animal helper. I don't know what his name is according to the game, but my Twitch chat has kind of nicknamed him Shoot. Like a garbage chute is the only thing I can really think to describe it. C-H-U-T-E. And he's a little sweet guy that you can find. And I absolutely adore him because he just like takes resources, albeit very slowly. He only does it like one at a time, but he'll take resources back to your dome for you, which is very useful when you do have a Drillbert, because very often Drillbert is going to unearth resources that are on the edges of the map. And personally, I kind of forget that they're there. So I like having Shoot be able to like pick up any of the resources that I've forgotten about. But yeah, there's that cute little fan art. As always, I'm gonna go ahead and render this off camera just because it would take up far too much time to render and talk to you guys at the same time, and I just don't have enough to even talk about in that process. But I'll try and put a little speed drawing over here as well. I did that for my Pride series and I really liked that, so I want to try and bring it back for my regular videos as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off camera, and I will see you guys back here for the finished product. All right, see you then. So, hi guys, welcome back. I could not be more obsessed with this. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I had a vision of what I was gonna do for the flashlight, and this like surpassed my expectations. I'm absolutely in love. The only thing that I think I really struggled with on this is separating the character from the background. I think it blends in a little bit too much. And I also just noticed as I was editing this video that I forgot Drillbert's little belly. He's got like a little yellow belly to match his drill, and I completely forgot to do that. So I am a bit bummed about that. But other than that, very pleased with this. Definitely learned a lot about lighting from this piece, especially trying to make a character pop out on a dark background. That was just really difficult, and there's definitely still room for improvement, but I love this piece. I am absolutely obsessed with how it came out. Almost as obsessed as I am with this game. I hope you guys love it just as much as I do, and before I go, I wanted to plug my stickers one more time. I made an announcement last video, but I actually have art stickers available for purchase now. This is my mermaid collection from this year, my little sushi mermaids. Each sticker is $5. There are 7 designs available, or you can get all 7 designs in one pack for $25. And all the profits made from my Ko-Fi shop for the month of September will be going to the American Red Cross of Hawaii to help aid those who were affected by the Maui wildfires. These stickers will still be available after September, but the fundraiser is going on only for the month of September. So if you want your money to go to a good cause and get some cool art out of it, definitely go check out my shop. Also, if we meet a couple sales thresholds, I will be adding more and more of the collection to my Ko-Fi shop as stickers, so keep an eye out for that as well. Other than that, if you want to see more of my art, you can follow me on Instagram. This guy is going to be going up there the exact same time this video goes up. I also have a TikTok where you can watch my speed draws, and a Twitch where you can watch me draw and play games live. And then lastly, if you want to support this channel even more, you can check out my Patreon. I've got a few tiers there that you can join, and you can find exclusive content there for as little as $3 a month. And lastly, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can find your way back here for next week's video. I will see you all then. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye!